Singing Go Tell It on the Mountain, here's the group Witness.
Everybody needs to know who Jesus is. They need to feel His perfect love and the joy that He can give. Why do we go through life waiting for things to change? We should know the work was done. For one day the Savior came. Go and tell on the mountain. Tell it on the mountain. Over hills and plains. That the King. Now He's the King. Was born. Oh yeah, and He was born. You can really celebrate. You can be happy instead of being sad. On the day He came, go and tell on the mountain. Oh, tell it on the mountain. Oh yeah, everywhere you go. Why don't you tell it, yeah? That He's the King, and I know that He was born. Jesus is His name. Tell the world about His goodness, of His saving grace. Tell them how they can be happy by singing His praise. Tell it, yeah. You gotta tell it, yeah. Tell it on the mountain top, and even in the valley low. Oh, why don't you tell it? He's the King of kings and He is the Lord of lords. Oh yeah, tell it. Everywhere you go and everything you do, you gotta tell it. Oh, go to the world and tell it. Tell them about His love. Tell them about His peace. Tell it, yeah. You gotta tell it. Oh yeah, tell it. Everywhere you go and tell it.
So now let's meet Witness and find out a little bit more about them. First, we have Yolanda Harris and Lisa Page. Also, Tina Brooks in the front row here, and in the back, Diane Campbell. Welcome. You sing beautifully.
Thank you.
So you've been singing together for 4 years now. How did you come together?
Well, it all started with Tina Brooks, who expressed some interest in getting to the music business, to her brother Michael Brooks, who is our producer and songwriter. And he got myself and Tina together, and we were doing a duo thing, and then the idea just evolved from that. Let's start a girls group, so we called Lisa and Diane, and then we formed Witness.
And you always wanted to sing gospel?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
I think mainly because it's not just a hobby or just just a career for us. It's what we love to live. So we're singing actually what we're trying our best to live.
So what do you say to people that are concerned that gospel has become too contemporary these days, that it sounds too similar to popular music?
Well, we haven't had too much of a problem with traditionalists who feel that way. But to those, that we have been confronted by, we usually tell them that you have to reach people. You have to use whatever means are possible without going outside of the gospel, without going outside of your surroundings. And we tell them that, the contemporary music is simply just that. It's just music, and music basically is the same everywhere, whether it's gospel or pop or rock or whatever. But it's the message that sticks and that has a lasting with those who listen.
So every group has their big break, and I know for you that moment came when you were actually a warm-up act for another group, and found out that there was actually a record producer in the audience.
Right.
Yeah.
We were in Brooklyn, New York at the time, and we were opening up with the opening act for Commission, and we had no idea that Raina Bundy was in the audience, and it just came about there.
So what are you doing now? Are you touring, working on an album, or what are you doing right now?
Well, presently, right now,
all of those things.
All of those things, right. About, maybe 2 weeks ago, we just completed our 4th album. So we're looking for that to be released January, February. And we've also done a couple of videos. And we're just doing whatever the Lord has us to do, and we're expecting to do even more. So you will be hearing a witness.
Great. I'm not surprised because you sound fantastic.
Thank you.
Do you do any of your own writing, or are you strictly produced by other people?
Michael is the basic producer. However, the other girls do write. Diane did a song on this latest album, and also Lisa. And Yolanda is a writer, too. However, she did not write a song for this album. Well, she did, but... long story. But Michael does most of the producing. We add, we help out in that area, in that we contribute vocally and, wherever we can. And so we're trying to branch off into that a little more.
Your bio says that you have all the energy and the style, charisma, and they compare you to groups like the Supremes and the Emotions, the Pointer Sisters. That's a pretty big league to be in. How would you describe your style?
Contemporary gospel singers we are, and our style is contemporary. We have our own uniqueness about ourselves because we are all lead singers and we all do backgrounds. So everyone, I believe, is what's different about us. We do what we do. We do the best at that, and that's what makes Witness.
And your voices seem to mesh so well, but like you mentioned, only 2 of you really knew each other, and then you just kind of came together. How did you know, what happened to make you realize that this was the right combination of singers? Just working in the studio together, or what?
Well, it took a little time for that to happen. I mean, as far as the voices clicking, that kind of happened immediately. We got together and we rehearsed and what have you, and it was like, oh, this sounds good with work, and with time it will be something good and something big. But as far as everyone personality-wise and everything else coming together, it took a little time for that to happen. And I think that that's with anything, it takes time. But we finally have a blend and something that we can call our style.
Well, I'm sure after people hear you tonight, they'll want to know when they can come and see you. Any performances coming up in the Detroit area? So look out for the album then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think definitely, yes.
So tell us again the name of the album that's out right now so we can look for it.
We Can Make a Difference.
Okay. Congratulations to Witness.
Thank you very much.
And we're looking for fantastic things to come in the future for all of you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us tonight.